I ran outside to see the clouds.
Look what you did. Are you happy? You're not. Hold on.
You ran outside to see the clouds.
Nah, dude. Hey, I'll show you the picture. I'll show you the picture because I walked outside and everything was like pink and blue, not pink and orange and blue, and it was like. Crazy looking. It was crazy looking.
Okay.
I was like, Rachel, go outside and look to your left. And she ran out there. She came back. She's like, my calf's tight now.
Well, no, I was in the middle of a
clouds.
set. Okay. They get me every time, Mike.
Hey, did you hit record?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, guys, welcome back. Coach Darrell, Cast Iron Workouts. Let's get back into this here. So, Rachel strained her calf today, running outside to look at the clouds.
I didn't strain it. It's just kind of cramped.
Yeah, let's talk about your leg issues for a second. So last 3 weeks, right? Mike, you'll appreciate this. So Rachel and I, we kind of switched up training, getting away. I don't want to say get away from cardio, but the running has been cut down, right?
Okay.
So we've been doing like 2 to 3 miles tops, right? Just as purely cardio for just a little bit of conditioning. Nothing where you're trying to push, any sort of mileage. You're not pushing pace. It's purely for cardio, burning calories. That's it. Was it, what day? Yeah, it's yesterday. Yesterday we go out. I'm like, okay, I want to do a little bit more tomorrow, but not get carried away. I said, I want to get about 4.5 in. So we got exactly 4.5, right? So we do that. Yesterday afternoon, like we come back to do our second workout, our lifting. This fool's leg is like locking up. Like just her body just quit on her. Her body was like, bro, we made this decision not to do any sort of running. Like as soon as we turned it up a little bit, her body's like, no, dude, like you can go screw yourself. I'm not playing this game. Like you promised me we weren't going to run and you're making me run.
It's like
dead legs.
We got you there to 10 miles and never again.
Yeah, and then it quit. It quit. It was like, dude, like come on, man. We had an agreement. Like you were feeding me. Like I was eating a lot. We weren't doing that stupid ass running thing. And now now we're gonna run. This is what you get. This is what you get. No more hamstring for you. It's not gonna work. It just quit on her, dude. Her hamstring quit. She's like, for Rachel to ask me to plug the gun in and use the Theragun, like that's bad. You know the gun I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. I was silent. I wasn't talking.
Yeah. She went from like to saying nothing. And she's like, will you plug the gun in? I'm like, oh, your leg really hurts. So anyways, that's where we're at with Rachel and her leg injuries, running out to see the clouds. And
I mean, yeah.
The clouds.
I was. Okay, so literally, it's not my fault, though. He was like, after your set, come and do that. So I dropped the weight and I ran. I was like, oh, God.
I will say this, though, in Rachel's defense, that's more cardio than you've got all week, that running outside she did. So, yeah got him. I was busting Mike's balls before the podcast today.
He doesn't even care.
Mikey had a down week here at the gym, or non-existent, that is, week.
Yeah, non-existent. Mm-hmm. But you know what? Feeling pretty good. I could use my legs. I could walk. So, I'm ahead of the game.
No.
How did that get turned back on me?
I ate well all week. So,
he got you pretty good there, didn't he?
Walking around good. I'm not bloated. I'm good to go. Yeah. I should walk anyway.
Why did he go, I'm not bloated, and look at me?
No. I meant for me, because not coming to the gym.
Not that anybody's bloated.
Could mean that could mean that I ate worse. It could mean,
yeah,
because they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
So
how many of the Happy Meals did you get with the Big Mac?
I got 0 this
Did you eat?
Happy Meals even come?
Not Happy Meals, but the fat kid meal that Mike gets.
Like a value
it's
meal.
like what is it, like a Big Mac and McNuggets or something that you get?
It's 2 Big Macs,
My bad.
2 fries, 20 nuggets.
So it's supposed to be for 2 people.
It says family written on it. So.
But who are they to determine what a family is, right?
What if you're with your family?
Right.
I mean, with sushi, we've had a family platter.
Dude, that was the experience of all. So when Rachel and I got certified for powerlifting, right, through USPA, we had this certification up in Sacramento. And so we're trying to figure out, okay, what are we going to have to eat? I'm like, dude, let's go to Makuni, right? It's a sushi place up in Sac. There's, 4 of them up there, Rach?
Yeah.
There's 4 of them. And there was one in Elk Grove, like close to where we were at. I'm like, dude, let's go. Because I'd been there not a bunch of times, probably 3 or 4 times with my sister, right? Because she's like, yeah, Makuni's. And anyways, so we find Makuni. We go, and I'm like, dude, we're both like starving. Right, we walk in and we're like, dude, what do you want? I don't know. What do you want? So we're looking at the menu and there's, all the different rolls and sashimi. And so we're going through stuff. I'm like, dude, we could honestly put down
Yeah, we can eat a lot.
we could probably put down 10 rolls between the 2 of us. Right. So there was a family platter feeds 6 to 8 people. And it was like 80 something pieces of sushi.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, that's what we got. And it came to the table and it's just Rachel and I at like this little 2-top table. And like this table of 4 sits down next to us and they're like
The server was the best. He's like, should I bring more chairs?
Or
yeah.
people.
Yeah, no, legit asked and we're like,
are they parking?
like I remember just looking at him like, no, why? Like, what are you
We
talking
didn't even
about?
use plates. We just ate it off the platter. Like,
How else do you do it?
I mean, if you were sharing it,
You don't have that much room in a 2-top table, like, because this is so the a 2-top table, right? It's like probably
Yeah.
as wide as this, right? Like 2 feet, 2.5 feet, and it's a little bit longer. The entire thing was the platter of sushi. It was fantastic.
I'm jealous.
I think we ate all but like 4 pieces.
Yeah, we couldn't. Like, we literally, there was only a few pieces, and we could not do it.
I got to that point, dude, where I was like
We
I
also-
could feel it. Like, and afterwards, I'm like, I need to walk around this parking lot before I get in a car. Like, dude, I was hurting,
It
dude.
was so much.
Absolutely hurting.
I'd do it again, though.
I was strong as shit the next day, though. Between that and that, like, super-powered coffee.
Oh, Ice-Ray had to take away a coffee in class from him. So we stopped at this like a drive-through
Little coffee hut.
yeah, coffee hut, but I don't know, it was not like a Starbucks
Like
or
an
something.
independent Java
Yeah.
something
Yeah.
or whatever.
The
Okay.
drive-up kind. you know.
Yeah.
We get like the iced coffee, like the big ones, right? And nothing in it, just like black coffee. And he's he's sitting in front of me in class. He's like twitching, like I normally do. Like he cannot.
So, like,
sit-
my leg
he
was just
couldn't- No, it
freaking
wasn't
out.
just his leg. It was like his whole body. And I
I
literally.
mean, it wasn't my whole body, but... It's, okay, maybe I was freaking out a
I
little bit.
grabbed his cup and just I was like, nope, no more. He was like,
Dude, we got
freaking out.
it was lecture, right, at this certification class. You go lecture, and then it's like breakout group where you go and apply what you've learned lifting wise. You play with your stance, you help other people, you coach other people. So, bro, we got to, I think it was deadlifts we were starting with that morning, or was it squats? It was deadlifts. Yeah, it was deadlifts. I remember walking over to the deadlifts, and I'm like sweating. Like, it's like 9 something in the morning. It's not hot, and I'm like sweating already. I'm like, why am I sweating so much? And I mean, dude, I was just amped. Like, dude, beyond amped. I'm like, I'm freaking out. Anyways, it was way too much coffee.
Squirming like an electric eel.
Dude, straight up.
It was like,
That's what I'm just imagining.
Dude, I was
was.
Like when superheroes don't know they're superheroes. They're like, what's happening?
oh, put more weight on the bar. Put more weight on the bar. They're like, dude, you haven't even warmed up yet. I don't care. Just load it up.
why have you broken 8 pencils? What's happening?
Oh man, yeah, that was dude, that was a lot of caffeine. A lot of caffeine. Don't ever want to be that caffeinated again. No, it sucked.
I think after that's when you were like, I'm not going to drink coffee past like 8:30 anymore.
No, not at all. Like, I think my heart stopped about 3 times that day. Like, I was
So
jacked up. Anyways, what else is going on? Rach, what's new? Mike, what's new? What's happening besides not working out?
Trying to wait out this storm.
Yeah. This storm.
what storm?
You know.
That one, the couple days that it rained.
The one that's over?
Yeah. You know.
He's still waiting it
I
out.
don't know. What sucks is it looks like Monday and Tuesday say rain. So
Tuesday. Don't get it. Shut
There
up.
were raindrops on Monday. I didn't look at the
Stop
times.
it. You stop it right
Yeah,
now.
I'll stop it. I'll be here if it's not raining.
It didn't rain yesterday.
You're right.
Didn't rain this morning.
Nope.
Yep. Okay, so anyways,
almost came this morning.
I
Rach,
wish I could get not so worked up when you make fun of me. I just can't.
I know.
I wish I
Mike's
could
like,
be
yeah,
like
you're
Mike.
talking shit to me. Whatever. I don't give a shit.
That
cool.
seems like one day when I'm an adult, I could do that.
Rachel's. It doesn't matter. Like she's gonna stomp her foot. It's gonna turn sideways. She's gonna through that thing where she slams her arm down. So what's new with you, Rach? What's good this week? What's happening?
No, another good week. I am honestly just a pretty routine week, which is always my favorite. Yeah, not really anything new this week.
Okay.
Doing good. Feeling good.
Okay. Good week. Yeah,
Yeah.
Same here. We had a good week in training. Things were a little funky at the gym. Like Mike was saying, we had really about 24 hours worth of rain that hit us pretty hard.
Yeah.
I actually ended up canceling classes. What was that, Thursday? We had a few people signed up just for like morning classes and got texts like, hey, are we still going? It's been done. And it had been dumping like overnight. And I said, if people are kind of wavering, I kind of use my better judgment of like, okay, we've had a ton of heavy rain. We haven't had much up to this point. It's going to be sloppy out. People are going to forget how to drive in this, putting people in the parking lot. It's dark. It's wet. I just kind of pulled the plug on it, canceled it and said, look, let's be smart,
That's what I was thinking.
Shut up.
It was.
But the day before where it was sprinkling, we had a majority of our people show up.
might get slippery out there.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. So anyways, that's about it. The hardest part about all that though is programming, right? Because I have my week set of what I know we should be doing and what I want to do those days, which most days requires equipment. We move stuff, we resistance train probably 4 out of our 6 days a week. The other 2 days being, we're doing some sort of cardio, body weight work, whatever. It's hard when we're not pulling equipment out, or I have to, flip plans all of a sudden with different things, right? Where it's like, okay, you got something set, something that we should be doing. How can I mimic that or get a similar stimulus, like without having shit pulled out, having our barbells out, kettlebells, balls, anything and everything, dumbbells, anything and everything that we have here at the gym without having any equipment, and it's challenging, it's challenging. And then to accommodate all the people and all the moving parts. So the joys of programming, kids, the joys of programming, there's a lot more that goes into it than, oh God. This is the part where we need you to kill that mic. Kill the mic. No, there's a lot more that goes into it. I think a lot of times than what people really realize. Think, oh yeah, well you're just showing up, you're making this shit up on the fly, and it's like, no, man. There's so many moving parts. Between people, equipment. What I think people should be training for the most physical benefit. That's going to benefit the masses instead of just each individual person. And yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. What else, man? What else happened this week? Anything good? I'm trying to think. Anything crazy? Nothing too big. We don't no football this weekend. We're the weekend before the Super Bowl. Got the Super Bowl hitting next weekend, so that's pretty exciting stuff. Who you got, Rach? Who's gonna win, the Chiefs or the Bucks?
Chiefs.
Okay, Mike, who you got?
I didn't know.
For the first time ever, I'm rooting for Tom Brady.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Like rooting for him?
Yeah, I want to see him win.
Okay.
Because
just with somebody other than Belichick?
yeah, and it kind of at this point it's just like, all right, if you want to be the greatest of all time, this
Listen,
is what it
we're
would
gonna
take.
get into
If.
this.
Well, no. I'm
Wait.
saying if. I mean, I don't want him to, but I'm saying,
Okay.
dude, you did all this stuff. Everyone's gonna say.
Let me ask you one question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you one question. Did Joe Montana ever play in a Super Bowl and lose?
No.
Okay, cool. Then no, stop. My discussion's done. We're done with this. That's all I got.
Ooh. I should have had Sean on instead of me today, and you guys could have all talked about this.
I'm a Niner fan, so obviously
I know.
that's my number one.
I know.
Too.
I know.
But I'm thinking like it's kind of like LeBron and Jordan, right?
Right.
And
Jordan ever lose in the finals?
nope.
Oh, weird.
But football, I think, is a lot harder.
It is.
You're just one out of 52 guys versus one out of 25, and 8 of them play.
Right.
So if he's, to start with the team and then do what he's doing,
I know.
it's just like
I understand, dude. It's
it's kind of like this thing's about to fall over. Just push it over already, and no, I'm still not going to say he's better than Joe Montana.
hell no, not as a Niner fan.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm just
Yeah.
saying like and I think I'm doing this on mass appeal. You know, people who don't. I don't know why they don't like the Niners, but people who
Right.
aren't Niner
Well,
fans.
I don't know why they don't either.
You know, I don't
they're
get it.
probably all.
I don't
I mean,
get it.
I know they're
You
all
know,
just wrong.
They have,
but
yeah,
that's
there's
okay.
something wrong with them. But you know,
Yeah,
so I just mean like, yeah, I want to see him.
you want Brady to win it.
I just want to see him do it.
Okay.
And
Okay.
you know, that would be cool because then he would beat the Chiefs who won last year.
Yeah, and
Barely,
beat the Niners.
barely,
Yeah, beat the
barely.
Niners.
You know,
You know what's scary about the Chiefs, though, dude? Like, honestly, scary about them is like the game, the AFC Championship, right? They're playing the Bills. The Bills go up early. It's like 9-0, and then it was the Chiefs are one of those teams, and they did it in the Super Bowl to the Niners. It was the
Yeah.
same thing. They're playing, and it's like, oh, you guys want to play? Okay,
They kinda
well,
wake up.
we're about to whoop your ass now. You're not going to keep up with this. Game over. We win. Like it was like the Bills came out, and I'm like, ooh, all right, the Bills are
Yeah.
looking. Oh no, they're not. Oh, that turned real quick. And it was the same thing against the Niners in that second half last year where it was like, oh, yeah, Niners look good. God damn it.
So
Yeah.
do you think that playing Tampa Bay then it's going to be like a better game?
I think Tampa's defense has to step up.
I was
If their defense steps up, you know, and plays, because I think Tom Brady, like with the weapons he has around him in Tampa, they're going to be able to score points. I think Kansas City's defense is good, but I think Tampa's still going to put points on the board, right? The hardest part is stopping Patrick Mahomes in that offense. Like, they are so good. You know, like Patrick Mahomes is so good. You know, and I know everybody, you know, is on the Patrick Mahomes hype, and so am I. I mean, I think he's that good. He's just such a game changer, right? And he is. He's that guy that can he makes shit happen when you go, how the hell did you do that? You know, and I won't call Travis Kelce the best tight end in the NFL because I love George Kittle.
right.
But Travis Kelce's amazing. Tyreek Hill. You
Yeah.
got, you know, all the couple different running backs that they have. I mean, just, you know, Hardman is a great slot receiver, punt return. I mean, dude, they just got so much. They just got so much. I just hope it's a good game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hope we have a good game.
I like what I've seen from Tampa Bay's defense too. They've got a few playmakers and
That Devin White dude's legit.
he's been tearing it up.
Yeah.
You know, so it's going to be a shootout offense.
Yeah.
So whichever defense can make a play.
Yeah.
You know, and yeah, you know, you talk about Buffalo starting out well and then they just got shut down. It's just like the Bulls used to do. You know,
They're just not there yet.
come the third quarter. You know,
I think Buffalo is going to be one of those teams in the next couple of years, though, that will
Yeah.
play with them.
yeah.
Anyways, yeah, so we got Super Bowl kids. Rachel was like, okay, I'm done talking.
Well,
You notice that? She just kind of backed away.
It's like Dolphins.
Yeah. Finkel and
I was going
Einhorn.
to say laces out.
Yeah, Finkel and Einhorn.
I do know that someone put like a $2.5 million bet for
I saw that.
and it's like to win $2 million.
Yeah.
For the
Like-
what?
$2.3 million was
Something like
bet
that, yeah.
on Tampa this morning or last night.
Yeah, something
Yeah.
like that. That's
Yeah, for Tampa to win.
my tidbit for you guys.
So
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
favored. You said to win $2 million, they put up 2.5.
They put up
Correct.
2.3. They
Yeah.
put up 2.3. I
win.
can't remember what the payout is.
It's $2 million.
So
It was-
Tampa's favored.
No. I
That's
thought
why-
Kansas City was favored, no?
Well, I'm just saying,
all
if you put up,
You should be winning
Right,
more
right, right,
if
right.
Kansas
so
City's favored.
That's
So
why I think
she's not sure.
I
Okay.
just thought it was
Well,
a good
hey,
tidbit.
Hey,
Wait, you
she tried.
wait,
She tried.
I'd
It's all
like
right.
to
It's
point
She's
a good
out-
contributing, Mike.
it was
okay?
still a good fact.
I would like to
Mike,
point
look
out,
it up.
Rachel, good job.
Thanks.
Look it up.
I'd like to point out that like the movie Trading Places kind of like came to life this week. Did you hear all about?
Oh, with the stock market stuff?
Like,
Yeah.
literally, like that's what happened.
Yeah, it was dude, that crazy. Crazy. Yeah, people are freaking out.
Yeah.
Absolutely freaking out.
Oh, that's all I got this week.
All right. So,
No, you're right. So they just said that spread against the Bucks are plus 3.5. So the net gain would be $2 million.
Yeah,
I'll take it. I'll give you $20.
yeah, because they would get they get it all back plus 2, right? Is that how it works?
Well, we were saying that $2 million's less than what you put up,
Yeah.
and since the Bucks aren't favored, even though you get the points, you get the spread, so it should be even. So why would you end up with less? And it's because you got to pay fees and things like that.
Got it.
I don't want to pay fees. I just want my damn money.
That's right.
So, current events this week. So we're gonna talk about some fitness type stuff.
Okay. Fitness. That's what we're here for.
Fitness. Yeah.
Diet starts with
So today, I want to talk a little bit about like trends in fitness and the diet community and how they're kind of changing, right? And how I kind of see the future of fitness and how things are kind of evolving. With the pandemic and quarantine hitting, that really changed people's approach to being able to get healthy and get fit, right? Why? Because most gyms are shut down, right? So that took a huge thing away from a lot of people. If you didn't know, most gyms like us, like we were still, for the first 2.5 months of quarantine, we weren't allowed to do anything. Inside, outside, did not matter. You can't do shit, right? We were shut down. So, like for us, I transitioned within the first 2 days of getting all of our equipment out to members and then programming home workouts via a private group that we're putting up the workouts, checking in with people, staying on top of things, making sure people were still doing stuff, right? Which a lot of people, their gym shut down. They didn't have that. They were working out, like I said, 24-hour fitness. And it's like, well, 24-hour fitness isn't letting you take shit home, right? They're not going to program workouts for you. They're not going to do. So a lot of people just kind of went, I don't know what to do, right? So what did we see? We saw people, because it was time of the year where in most places it wasn't too cold, right? So you saw more people out walking, more people out running than normal, right? And saw a lot of people running that you could tell they had not been running prior to this, like just where, and I'm not talking, like because they were smaller, bigger, whatever. I'm talking about just watching people run. You're like, oh, you look really uncomfortable doing this and you're not used to it, right? They're trying to figure out ways to move their body and do different things. So that's where a lot of businesses started to transition, right? Like you saw, like for us, like cast iron workouts. It's weird that everything played out the way that it did with quarantine and us getting cast iron up and running, and programming home workouts for people to do. I had bought the cast iron website, right? The domain, the website, all of our hosting stuff. I want to say it was not this past December, but the December before. So 3 or 4 months before quarantine. I start working on the website with Tara, trying to figure it out. Can't figure it out. We were to a point where we're getting kind of stuck with different things because it's a subscription-based site, right? You're doing payments and all this shit. And, for us, with our tech knowledge, we got tapped out. Quarantine hits. I go, hey, I know a guy who may have some insight here who can help me. Yeah, that's that dude. Scary, isn't it? So I get a hold of Mikey. I'm like, hey man, let's start. I need help with this. And we kind of, combined forces. Mike kind of took over the tech side of things, started building out the website, made it look as pretty as it is right now. Adding more content to it, uploading workouts, doing all this different stuff, right? But, it's not like we're the first people to do something like this. People have been doing things like this for years. I've wanted to do things like this for years. So a lot of people that were working out at 24 hours at different places started to gravitate to stuff like this. Or people that were even working out at gyms like ours, right? They're like, hey, I still want people to give me my workouts, program for me. I want to take the thought out of it. So they're looking for things like cast iron. So people kind of transition that way. People started buying a ton of home gym equipment.
Yeah.
And that's where like prices of things got out of control, right? It's like the baseball card flipping thing, right? It's crazy, the same thing with equipment. I saw people doing the same thing. They were flipping gym equipment. They were buying up stuff and then going and reselling it for 2 or 3 times the price. Yeah. It was insane.
Well, I knew my sister wanted a row, the Concept 2 rower, right? Uh-huh. And so I think it was in maybe like May or June. She went online to buy one. She was put on a waiting list. She got it in November. She finally got her rower. That's crazy. That's crazy because you could have walked in. You could get those pretty much instantly before. So
yeah, it used to take probably a week to get a Concept 2.
Yeah.
Weights about $1 a pound.
So yeah, typically like non-COVID, pre-quarantine times, right? Like I would order through a couple different websites. Rogue being one of them. X Training was another one. There's a place called the Fitness Armory in Fremont. They're all pretty comparable as far as price. Rogue's probably the most expensive, but I could get different deals different times of the year. And like dumbbells and bumper plates and kettlebells usually go anywhere from like $1 to $1.30, right? Somewhere in that range per pound. During the quarantine, once everything hit and people started buying stuff up, like number one, things went on back order for like 3 months. Like if you ordered dumbbells, you weren't going to get them for at least 3 months. But if you could find stuff, it was usually people reselling, and they were selling stuff for like $3 to $4 a pound. That is insane. And it was used. It was used. Like people would take bumper plates, like a 45-pound bumper plate pair, so 90 pounds. You usually pay about $100 for a pair of those, right? Like non-quarantine. People were selling those. I saw $350 to $400.
Crazy.
Right? And people were buying it because they couldn't get it anywhere else. That was like, for me, I had a bunch of stuff here at the gym that we hadn't used in like literally in years, right? Like took some of the stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm going to sell it. I'm not going to mark it up. I was putting it out there for, some of the stuff was, stuff I had hardly used. So I put it up for the prices that like I paid for it, or even a little bit under. How fast did I sell that stuff? Like within a day?
Wait, no, remember that one morning you say the big dumbbell, the huge ones, like the 150s or whatever?
Yeah.
You put that up. Those guys were here within like 2
within 20
hours.
minutes.
Like, yeah,
they were here.
Yeah, it was
no. The guy. So I put him up at 6 a.m. By 6:30, he had hit me up with a message. We'd gone back and forth messaging, and then he was here before 8 a.m. to pick him up.
Yeah, it was crazy.
And there was the dude who was doing it, he was definitely flipping these.
Yeah.
Because he pulled up in like this work truck. I'm like, you okay? Like, cool.
Yeah.
Dude hops out. 2 guys, they were going, looked like they were working some sort of manual labor type job, right? Construction or something. I'm like, you guys, and just looking at them, like, you guys aren't throwing around dumbbells like this. Yeah. There's no way you are.
Yeah.
So they were just buying and flipping, right? To be on there picking stuff as soon as it drops. Yeah. Same thing like with a baseball card.
Yeah,
dude,
if you saw a deal like that,
Yeah. So, a lot of people started buying up stuff for their houses and things and whatever. So you saw things transition that way too, right? And then, you saw a huge spike like Peloton, like the Peloton bikes.
Yeah.
So those things, I don't know if they sold out or whatever, but I know like that everybody hopped on that Peloton train.
For sure.
Right?
See that.
The Nordic.
I've seen it blown up. I didn't even know what it was. I had to look it up.
Bowflex.
Yeah.
And the wall ones. Like the
the mirror.
It's like a train.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trainer in the mirror, which.
Yeah. So listen. So there's a ton of.
Let's talk about those mirrors.
Yeah, let's talk about these
because
for a second.
they have all these nano sensors and
there's all different sorts of stuff, right?
Right.
And it's all fine and dandy, and it's all great. And I think if you use any of these things and you enjoy it, more power to you. That's my thing. Is like, do I want 1,000 people to come to my gym that I own? Yeah. Do I want 10,000 members for cast iron workouts? Fantastic. I would love it. But if you find something that you personally like to do, you feel good, you're getting towards your goals, holy shit, hallelujah, stick to it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy for you. Do that. That's great. But the hardest part about something like that, a machine, you got to turn it on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was going to say.
Yep.
You got to flip that switch.
That's what I see.
Yeah.
Is people get it. They put it in a beautiful spot.
There's a reason in non-COVID times why I can buy used gym equipment way cheaper than when I buy it brand new, and it's almost brand new shape.
Just sits there.
Yeah, because so many people, that's like, and I'm not going to name names. We have a member who's on and off here at the gym who has a Concept 2 rower that he has in his garage. Oh, yeah, man, I'm going to use this thing. Talked to him the other day. He's like, yeah, it's been a sweet coat rack for the last 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? And it's everybody goes into it with good intention and high hopes. It's just like when we talk about, like, when you sign up to do a race, right? Rachel told me, I've said it on here before. When you sign up to do a race, like when I signed up to do my first 6-hour race, I'm like, ooh, that sounds cool. That's going to be fun. And, I'm not thinking about 20 some odd miles in running hills where I'm like, oh God, this is fucking terrible. I'm dehydrated. My legs are heavier than I've ever felt in my life. I'm sitting on my couch. I feel good.
Warm.
I'm chilling out.
exactly.
Yeah. Got my feet up. Maybe got my slippers on. You know, I'm feeling good.
Maybe you had a cocktail in your hand while you're.
Your pipe.
My
Wait,
What the fuck do you think's going on at my house, Mike? Do you think I'm smoking a corncob pipe or
Yeah,
what?
I was gonna say, what kind of pipe was that? By the way,
You know, I don't know what you saw, but that was like a very, antique. Like, it wasn't glass.
Keep going. So anyways, when people make these purchases, right? And what I'm getting at, yeah, when they buy their pipes. No, when people make these purchases for like home gym equipment, they feel good, right?
can't even.
No, Mike can't even hold it
Yeah,
together.
they're using their pipes when they buy these
that
things.
that they are. That they are. They feel good. They're comfortable, right? They're not thinking about the grind of it, of actually having to like get on that piece of equipment or pull out that barbell or whatever it is and use it and
Right.
have to do the work. They're not thinking about the work. They're thinking about the rewards of it and like, ooh, I'll have a better body. And they're not thinking about the amount of time and effort they're going to have to put in.
Yeah,
right?
They're making their own commercial.
Right.
It's
And
like-
that,
100%.
and the accountability part of it isn't there, right? Who are you accountable to? Yourself. It's up to you to get in that garage and load up that barbell. It's up to you to go turn that machine on. It's up to you to sit down on that rower and start pulling, right? And for most people, that's kind of lacking. And I think we're going to see, like, who knows how long this whole COVID thing's going to last and what's going on. And it looks like we're in this for a while, right? And things aren't going to be back to normal for a while, whether we like it or not. Okay? So for most people, they're going to have to figure something out, what they're going to do. And I think you're going to see a lot of people kind of swing that way, buy stuff for home, and I hate to say it, never truly use it because the accountability side of things just isn't there, right? And I know there's a lot of people in the health and fitness industry that are kind of scared right now. There's people who I personally know who have closed their doors to their gyms and are never going to reopen. Right? Or people that are on the verge of that and people that's scary when that's your livelihood, right? I think that you're going to see, gyms like mine, and I hate to say this, and we're going to knock on wood here, not trying to put a hex on mine because we're in a great place right now. We still got a lot of supportive members doing their thing, but I think you're going to see a lot of gyms close. I do. I think you're going to see that happen, right? You're going to see a huge wave of it, and you're going to see that home gym thing kind of pop up. You're going to see more of the mirror type things, more of the Peloton type things, and all these different things. Post COVID, I think you're going to see a lot of that stuff go up for sale, though, and I think you're going to see a resurgence in the smaller gyms like we have because there's nothing that can replace this.
Yeah.
Face to face accountability, and just that interaction with people, right? Which is so little right now during COVID times, but even non-COVID times, just over the years, last 20 years, face-to-face communication has died, right? And, that connection between people has gone away. And I think people are really going to be hungry for that after everything settles. So I think you're going to see a lot of things kind of die and then build back up. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure how or in what way, if it's going to be group fitness, if that means even just like, you may see more one-on-one personal training. So people are limiting the amount of people that they're around. But I kind of see a resurgence in like face-to-face training, but I think we're going to have a lull here. And I think a lot of people that are in the health and fitness industry are going to be scared and may start looking at different careers.
So you're saying like the smaller gyms and things like that. So like the global, like a 24-hour or the family fitnesses or, all those, do you think people are going to kind of steer away from those when this kind of all like breaks, because it's so many.
I think depending on where you're at and people's beliefs on and I'm not going to get into this, but their belief on what the virus is all about,
Yeah.
and how deadly it is or non-deadly they think it is, or whatever their beliefs are. If you're in an area where people are, taking this seriously, you're not going to see a huge wave of people itching to get back in 24-hour fitness.
That's what I was thinking. Because
Oh, I was just gonna say, I think those businesses are gonna survive just based on memberships. I
Yeah.
mean, you're talking about equipment, but if we, I just looked up this stat, and so 82 million adults sign up for gym memberships every year. 6.3% of these never use it. That's 5 million people.
Yes.
And
Crazy.
that's $1.8 billion down the drain. That's just, so I think the memberships are always going to be there.
Yeah.
And I think enough people will trickle in. I mean, but they don't need many. I think they're not going to need a lot of people as a business to actually use their
Depends on what their
facility.
overhead is.
Right. But I'm saying I think the memberships are still going to be there. I think there's still going to be people who have memberships even if they don't go.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Gotcha. And I think a lot of that depends on like when they bought their membership. So what I mean by that is I know people, like I have friends who, I think we have a few who come to the gym here who still have 24-hour fitness memberships. And they've been members of ours here at the gym for 5-6 years, but won't give that up because they signed up at a time with 24-hour fitness before they were even 24-hour fitness. It was like when they were Ray
Nautilus.
Wilson's or 24-hour Nautilus, who they merged with, bought them out, but they still had to honor the contracts. They pay $4 or $5 a month.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'm not giving that up. Like $4 or $5 a month. That's the way they look at it. It's like, oh, $60 a year. I'm not going to give that up. Right. So
Good
for
business
them,
practice from the company.
yeah,
too.
for them, like, okay, like
Just in case.
Yeah, they're not going to give that up. But for the people who bought a 24-hour fitness membership that are paying $50 a month, they're going to look at that a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to go, I'm paying $50 to pay your rent right now when
Yeah.
I don't get to do shit.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I meant when it's limited opening like it was a couple months ago when they had
that's what they're doing
that
again right
window.
now.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I still think they'll have enough subscribers.
Yeah, like I said,
You
I
know?
think a lot of it depends on overhead, right? And when I say overhead, I'm not just talking about the lease of their building. You got to remember they got to have employees there to
Right.
run that.
Insurance.
Yeah, and insurance is not cheap for
Yeah.
a bigger facility like that.
Yeah.
Right?
Because when that was going on, I was driving by these gyms, and people are waiting outside because limited
Waiting their
capacity.
turn, yeah.
And they're waiting,
Yeah.
and they're on their phones just like they would be when they're inside.
right.
Right. I mean,
Right.
but it's, again, it's like, we think it's kind of crazy, but again, they want to get their workout in. They don't have the option to do it at home, or maybe they have kids, they need a
Yeah.
break, and it's a sense of normalcy to get to go do that, regardless if they're waiting in line. So,
Right.
You might be right. People might hold on to those
Yeah.
things just to be like, it's going to be back to normal,
Yeah, but how long are you going to hold on to that?
Well, I mean, I guess it also depends how much you are, the people who go, are going to hold
Because
it's
let's use 24-hour fitness as an example, right? Okay, so we've had full shutdowns here, and I know it's not like that nationwide, right? But whatever, we're kind of riding different waves of this here with reopenings and how the capacity of people that can come in, whatever. 24-hour fitness, this was 4 months ago, was talking about declaring bankruptcy.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
remember
So
hearing
how
that.
long are they gonna be able to just sit back and ride this out and just keep hemorrhaging money? Because they
Yeah.
are. Because they wouldn't talk about declaring bankruptcy if they were keeping members.
Yeah, it doesn't.
They're not even paying employees at that point.
So does anyone know what they did with their memberships? Did they pay? Are people paying them?
They
or
were
they-
still forcing people to pay memberships.
Marty has one at
That's crazy.
is it Planet Fitness?
Yeah.
They suspended it at first when the shutdown went, but once it started opening limited capacity, they got it rolling again.
And it was at
Yeah.
the full amount, whatever your thing.
And she had to call him at some point because they'll charge you. Just,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
You're a
they're-
member. It's like,
And then you still probably have to give your 30
Right.
day and all that with them.
so I think she may have canceled it, but she had to get on the phone with it, like, hey, what's going on here, blah, 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 blah. And they didn't make it easy. That's the other thing, too. They're going to
Yeah.
stretch that out as long as they can, unfortunately.
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funky, and I'm pretty sure 24-hour fitness, from what I heard, and I don't know personally because I didn't go through this personally, from what I've heard from people that have memberships there, was they were still being charged every month, didn't matter what the situation was. So,
I feel like I've heard the same thing. And
Yeah.
because my sister does what I think it's family fitness.
okay.
And same thing. She was like, you're not going to put this on hold. And they were like, no. Like, it was like, but there's no-
nothing being provided
So
at that point,
they
right?
were renting out their equipment. So you could pay your monthly membership for like a piece of equipment or something like that. And she was like, my sister has little kids in the house, and so she's just, more cautious. And she's like, well, that's why she ended up buying a rower.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting. I'll have to ask her, but I remember that. The one by her house is huge.
Right.
And they were straight. I mean, that's survival mode, right? I'm sure,
Yeah,
that's like getting your row,
Dude, that was, not that I don't trust all of our members, right? But when I'm taking my livelihood, right, and I'm passing out every piece of equipment that keeps me operating, because that's what we did. Like, if you came in the gym, like if you were to have stepped in the gym and looked in here during the lockdown, this place was like
empty.
And it's, like for me, I'm going, that's my livelihood. I'm passing this out to people, but I have to still be able to provide a service to still, earn some sort of income. And it, like, dude, for me, like, you've heard me say it. It's like Tara talking about school, right? My wife's a teacher. For her to be in the classroom, her job is 10 times easier than what it is right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
Right? Yeah. Like, when we were in that first part of lockdown, passing out equipment, filming videos, programming workouts for home, making sure that I could, that was hard programming, because it's like somebody has a barbell, somebody has a kettlebell, somebody has dumbbells, and I'm trying to make sure everybody can do something.
Someone has cinder blocks.
Yeah, and then we're doing all different sorts of stuff. Anyways, but still trying to program workouts. And, if you were one of our members, I was texting you almost every day, like, how are you doing? What's going on through workout? Like, how are you feeling? Like, you need any modifications?
I was going to say, talking with you through that time,
it sucked.
Yeah, you were on your phone constantly.
Yeah, and I, like, I'm doing this, right?
Yeah.
Like, drive you nuts.
When instead of the however many hours you're here in a day getting it taken care of, now that's cutting into your family time, everything.
Yeah, it's just different, and you got people at that point working out different hours of the day, right? Like, I got people working out 6 a.m. who want to text you at 6, people working out at 8 p.m. who want to text you at 8, and then people all throughout the day. Anyways, what I'm getting at, it was different. It was a lot different, right? But it was 100% survival mode. It was like, holy shit, I've been doing this for 17 years, right? I had my business for 17 years, and I'm going, how do I keep this business afloat, during a time when I don't know what the hell is going to happen? And it's still that way, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's still 100% a juggling act, and trying to, do our parking lot stuff like we are, trying to make sure everybody is getting in what they should in some capacity and fashion. It's hard.
It's tough also because most of the things in life, right? Like anything that happens, we have something to go off of. Something's happened before. Something has, you have okay, well, they did this. Not a single bit, not any of us have ever been through it. So everyone was trying whatever they could, and no one was right or wrong. You know what I mean? So it's crazy to think that individually everyone had to come up with a solution, and it wasn't even, you didn't even have the time to even almost collaborate with people. You just had to do it right then and there.
No, I didn't talk to anybody. I was just like, okay, here's what I think is right, and I'm going to go off of my gut. And here's the thing too. It's like, for me, and this is a business, and this is where I guess as a businessman I kind of struggle, right? Is I'm trying to make sure everybody is thought of and accounted for, right? And it's like, okay, to me, that means more to me than, bringing in a shit ton of money. It's keeping the people that you have happy, right? And that was the hardest part, is like, okay, how can I keep everybody happy and make them feel loved, right? Because that's a lot of what we have going on here at the gym. Even if I bust your balls, like I bust Mike's balls, right? Like all the time. It's making everybody feel like they matter. You care about them. They're part of your community, right? Because that's talking about like why people are going to want to come back to smaller gyms and one-on-one training or group training. That's it. They want connection. And that's a hard thing to do when you're not seeing people every day. So, yeah. I mean, for like, as far as like the future of things go, I think it's sad to say, I think you're going to see, like I said, a lot of gyms die out, and then I think there's going to be a comeback. I think there's going to be a strong comeback, and it's going to be more to do with people just needing that interaction than in that accountability, The die off though, the scary part is it's probably gonna push a lot of people out of the business, which for me is good and bad. Right? It's a good thing and a bad thing, because I think there's a wide variety of people in the health and fitness industry. There's a lot of people in this industry right now, or that were in this industry because they think it's a cash machine, right? And they think of it as, they're not thinking about the relationships, they're not thinking about anything like that. They're just thinking about the dollar signs and how I'm going to bring in money, cycle people through. People that are doing this shitty, group fitness, fast, turn and burn, get them in and out. You guys were both servers, turn and burn tables, right? The more tables you can get in and get out, the more money you're going to make. And like, I'm not about that.
No.
So I think it's going to push some of those people out, which I'm happy about. Not that I want any ill will upon those people. I hope they have a great life, but go figure out something else and do with your life. Don't look at this as dollar signs. Look at this as how you can help people, because that's what I think a lot of people that are in this right now, or were in this, is they're doing it for the wrong reasons.
It's going to weed out that passion.
For sure. And that's that's even like with cast iron, right? The stuff that we do there. We don't have a big membership base. Like, I'm not afraid to say that, but I want it to grow, and I definitely do. But even through cast iron, I want to have some sort of relationship with the people that we have. Right? Because I want those people to have that interaction. I want those people to feel like they're part of a community. And I look at other businesses that do stuff like we do with cast iron, and it's very much just, it's turn and burn. They don't give a shit.
It's a numbers game.
It's 100% a numbers game. It's about how many members you can get in, right? How many people can we bring in? I don't give a shit if I'm helping you. Are you still paying your bill?
Yeah.
You still paying your bill? It's 24-hour fitness. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the same fucking model, right? I don't give a fuck if you show up. And I'll go back. When I first became a trainer, right? I worked for 24-hour fitness. Then I worked for Bally's Total Fitness. When I worked for 24-hour fitness, I'm talking to our general manager one day, and we're talking about. I'm asking him about how many members we had at the gym, like how many total members at the gym in Fremont, right? And he said, well, he said, you want to know how many people come on a daily basis? He said, we usually get about 800 people within the day, that's a lot of people cycling through. Yeah. It's a decent sized gym. He said, but throughout the day, about 800 people. I said, no. I understand how many people come in daily. I said, I want to know how many members are here. He goes, well, we're moving nationwide now. And this is when they first became 24-hour. And he said, I get it. I understand what you're telling me. I said, but how many people signed up here? He said, technically about 20,000 members. I said, so you have about 20,000 people who this is technically their home gym. I said, what if all those people showed up any day? And he kind of laughed and he goes, they're not going to show up.
Yeah.
They bank on it. They bank on people not showing up. And that's their business model, right? They don't give a shit. And that's so many gyms, dude. And it's like, I hate that business model. Like, don't get me wrong. I want to get paid, but I want those people that are paying me to get something from it. You know what I mean? Like, use the shit that I'm giving you. You know what I mean? Anyways, it's I don't know. I think it's going to weed out a lot of shit like that. I hope it does. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Let's go with hope.
I guess it's as much as I understand what you're coming from, but it's a different business model, right? Here is a facility, like you're training all these people that are coming in, and like, you know what I mean? You're going to watch them succeed. Unless you pay for an extra trainer there's no one keeping you, like, you know what I mean? Like, so it's a complete different like business model as.
No, it is.
You know what I mean? Like,
at a global gym, yeah, it is.
Yeah. It's
But I know,
like,
you know what? I know boutique style gyms, like smaller gyms like ours, that run off that model also.
Totally, and those are the ones that
I know, and I know like different studio style gyms like ours, or CrossFit gyms, or things similar in nature that do the same thing. Like, yeah, we got 200 members, but only 100 show up. Ha ha ha. Like,
yeah. Well,
at that point, they could totally control.
But for me, like, okay, on the business side of things, right? Like, number one, I worry about those 100 people who aren't here. Like, say that was the equation, right, that I was running. Say I had 200 members, and say 100 of them are showing up. Aren't you, as a person, morally going, man, I wonder where Johnny is. He's one of those 100. Well, I wonder where Timmy is. He's one of those 100. You know, I wonder where Becky is. She's one of those 100. Aren't you, like, as a person, morally thinking about that? But they're not. And that's the part that drives me nuts.
That's corporate
That's a
compared to small business.
volatile business too.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
And
when something happens like a pandemic, you're going to
You're
go
done,
bankrupt.
yeah.
For sure. And that's
24 went bankrupt in June. They filed for
they
bankruptcy.
did. Okay.
So what's that? 4 months? They were able to stick it out.
Right.
The biggest gym company,
Yeah, nationwide,
yeah.
right?
And 4 months.
So they must
Right.
have pulled membership.
And
They're just
okay,
done.
let's not even talk 24 hours. I'm talking back to my model
no,
I was
I'm-
talking, right? With the 200, 100 showing up. As a businessman, not from the caring point, not from the moral side of things, aren't you as a person going, fuck, I hope these people keep paying that bill? Doesn't that weigh something too? What are you gonna, you know what I mean? Like, aren't you just, or are you just sitting back going, yeah, fuck it. If you pay, you pay. If you show up, you show. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't that worry you?
Well,
I'm trying to keep every single one of our members happy, whether they know it or not. Right? I'm trying to, and every single, and I guess this is the negative side of being a business owner. And I know you've heard me say it before, but like, I'm not kidding. Every single day, I worry. I worry if Mike is gonna stay a member at the gym. I worry if Rachel's gonna stay a member at the gym. Are they happy? Are they doing that? You know what I mean? Like that's the side of being a business owner that people don't tie into or don't think about, right? Is like, you're scared. You're going through life scared. Are these people gonna keep paying me so I can keep paying my bills?
Yeah.
It's scary. It's a scary thing. And I'll tell you what, in this, like different points in time, like the best thing I ever did was automate payments. Right?
Right.
Because there was a time where like, I wanted to keep things cash. I'm not going to say why, but you know what I'm saying? Like, so I was doing, cash check payments. I wasn't doing credit cards. I wasn't doing auto pay, anything like that. And the scariest times are when 5, 6, 7 people are a week late in payment. Now I'm however many dollars behind, there was times like when I was doing stuff like that, I'm going, fuck, I hope I can pay my bills. Shit, I wonder what I'm going to eat tonight because I ain't got nothing in the fridge. I ain't got no cash in my pocket.
Yeah.
And there ain't a damn dollar in that bank account right now. Just because there was months, I can remember months having $2,000 sitting on the table that nobody had paid me. You know how much money $2,000 is to a broke ass like me when I was just starting out like that? Like, that's a shit ton of money. Where I'm going, I got to pay my car payment. I got to pay my rent. I got to pay my PG&E, and I need to eat. You know what I mean? And you're going, and that's uncomfortable conversations. Like, hey, can you pay me, please?
Yeah.
Or uncomfortable call, text message, or even just a face-to-face when somebody walks in the gym, like, hey, did you remember to bring that money that you owe me? You know what I mean? Like, that sucks, man.
Then I got to show up at their door 2 a.m.
I've only had, and this is not a joke, and I wish it was, I've only had 2 people that I've really threatened over money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, legitimately
Yeah.
threatened, like, we're going to have a real problem if you don't show up with some cash. Like, and I know it's bad to say, but it had to be like, we're talking close to $1,000 from one
Wow.
person that had back
Damn.
payments, and another person was like another $500 or $600. And when you're broke, that means a lot to you, especially when you're putting out a lot of time for these people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get away from breaking thumbs for money here for a second.
I was just gonna say, I could relate to that whole, the business owner perspective because I was kicking ass DJing. You
Yeah.
know? I had a lot of stuff lined up. I started growing in terms of my bills, with that, in a good way. The business was growing, and oh man, and it got shut down, and I still don't know if I'm going to be able to keep it up. And I was at a point where I was projecting maybe another year from now, I would just DJ. I wouldn't have to work at the restaurant,
Yeah.
And I was just like, damn. And in February, like mid-February, I talked to Wedding Wire. I was thinking I was like the next step, pay for a page. It was a lot. Like, considering you might not get anything out of it, it's basically just advertising, but you get your page on Wedding Wire for contractors. It was like $200 at least, or somewhere around there a month.
Wow.
So I was like, man, and I was on the phone with them. Okay, well, I'll cut you this deal or whatever. And I'm like, I don't think I should do it. And I had no idea, none of us knew what was
Yeah.
I was like, man, if I did that, there's no way they would have backed down from, oh, we're sorry, you know, you don't have
Yeah,
to
they would have
pay
been
us.
like, pay me.
Exactly. You
I don't
know?
give a
They
shit.
would have been
You're
in
gonna
my
pay
door,
me.
you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
And now I still don't know if I'm going to be able to continue. And I have all this equipment, you know, I have,
Right.
you know, this insurance that I still have. I just told Darrell, you know, my business bank, you know, like it shut down. It got bought by a bigger bank and they just closed it because it was free. It was
Right.
free business. So I'm like, okay, so now I'm stuck there and I'm mixing money and I don't know if I could, you know, sustain this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's scary
Like,
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Scary
Just a trip,
stuff.
thinking about, thank God I didn't pull the plug on, you know, or if it was a year offset, you know, I'd be in that position maybe. It's just,
Yeah,
Nuts.
it's tough, dude. It's tough to figure out, you know, like what you're gonna do and how you're gonna transition. And like I said, you know, we were talking a lot about, you know, the fitness industry and the way it's going, but so many businesses, right? So many different businesses that, you know, they have to think about these things. Like, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do right now? Because things aren't normal. How do you pivot? You know, I think if you waited this long, you're probably too late, right? You're almost a year into this thing. Like you should have like turned that stance already. But yeah, I think you're going to see different avenues, and I'm not talking just health and fitness related. Like you're going to see new industries pop up, right? New things that we probably aren't even thinking of, you know, within different areas of, you know, health, fitness, food, you know, entertainment, just different things that you're going to see pop up in the next probably 2 years that aren't even a thought right now, just because of the way things are. You know, different things are going to shut down. Different business models are going to change, evolve, whatever it is. I don't know. I don't know what that means exactly, but I just think you're going to see a lot of new thing, a lot of old ways kind of change, and new things kind of come up from this.
yes,
It's gonna make people rethink their investment strategies with different businesses and things, and
what they do with their disposable income,
Yeah.
if they have any. you
yeah,
know.
yeah, for sure. What do you think? You got any thoughts on, you know, the fitness industry? What do you think? And anything different?
So, I mean, I don't know if it's, you know, different, but it's just like, you know, me going back into the office, like I can work 100% from home for the rest, you know, with at my other job, not fitness. Sorry, I'm kind of switching. I went back in the office because I needed to see people. Like I was like, I can 100% work efficiently at home. I get to the office and sure, I probably
Efficient?
I efficient. Well, now I talk half my day to people because there's people there, and like to me, like that's a, you know, everyone always was like, I want to work from home, right? It would be so nice if I didn't have to come to the office every day.
Now,
Every single one in that office wants to be there right now because they want to see people.
Yeah.
now, with that being said, though, you live 10 minutes from your office. You don't have an hour commute each way.
Correct. I don't. But I'm thinking, you know, with like gyms and stuff, like, yes. So like 24 hour, if I was a member at 24 hour or, you know, a global gym, to me, afterwards, I want to talk to people because when you go to those gyms, people aren't really chatting with each other. They got their headphones and they're doing their thing. That's awesome. They do have classes and stuff, but it's again, a turn and burn. There's a line for the next class coming in. Like, for me personally, you know, I'm already here and I have this gym family that's amazing and I'm, you know, I don't want to leave them. But like, if you didn't have that, I would be looking for that, you know, because we can go back out. Maybe, you know, it's a page turner. Like, let's, you know, I don't know. So as much as I know, I see what you're saying because people don't want to be around other people. I don't know. Human contact, I don't think is going to change.
I think, yeah,
I think people want people.
combination. Yeah,
No,
people
so do
want
I.
to be around people.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that people don't. You know, I'm not saying that people don't want to be around other people. I think they do 100%. I'm just thinking the scale of things, the way that things are, is going to change.
Yeah. It's going to be a different
It's going to be a different model
Same
for the way
feeling,
things are set
different
up. Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. I mean, and like I said, I can't pinpoint what I mean
Yeah.
exactly, but I think things will be a little bit different. I'm not sure how. I think there's going to be, like within different industries, I think people are going to have different avenues of making money or different revenue streams, right? Like, I think you're going to see people that are, like in my position, right, where I have a brick and mortar gym. I think somebody who owns a brick and mortar is going to be looking for a supplemental way to make money, whether that means having a supplement shop in their gym, having a smoothie shop in their gym,
Yeah.
having a cast iron workouts that they do outside of the gym, something else that if another worldwide pandemic hits, then they have something else to bring money in. Because, the scariest thing, again, about business, right, is, okay, if I can't operate my business, like that's a brick and mortar, what the hell am I going to do? That's what I'm saying. Like brick and mortar stuff is it's that industry is going to change a lot.
Yeah. I mean, so I think like what you're saying, like the supplemental stuff, don't you think that the people who are going to survive this have already put that into place and it's just going to keep on roll? Like,
Yes.
like,
And that's what I said a couple minutes ago is the people who have already pivoted are probably going to be the ones that are going to be successful. And that's why I said, if you haven't figured out a way to semi pivot during this, I think you're behind the 8 ball now. You're screwed, right? You're screwed. You've had to figure it out. You better start thinking about something different or come up with something new,
Yeah, I mean, I started getting into all this, podcasting stuff,
Yeah.
I had always already wanted to learn it, but this just pushed me into using the same equipment differently. And now, we're doing the other thing with my brother-in-law. And
You can talk about it. You can bring it.
Just digging in the crates.
Yeah.
With
See?
Naki the Beatman, who created our intro.
Yeah.
He's in Chicago.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So he's in Chicago full time.
yeah, he lives there. He's from Chicago.
Okay.
He came out here because of the boss that I worked for at KPLX, and he ran Q102 as well. So that's where Billy was already there. So Elroy came in, and he brought Naki in and actually moved him out to San Francisco.
Gotcha.
So then eventually his contract was up and he went back to Chicago. He still does imaging and things like that, commercials and sweepers. So,
Okay.
but he could do that from anywhere. So we do the podcast, he's in Chicago. We're chopping it up. None of us could DJ right now. I mean, yeah, Billy doesn't miss it, too much. He likes his, garage studio that he had to innovate. He's running a radio station from his garage, and
So who's he doing his DJ stuff for the radio?
so he's the program director for Q102.
Oh, still,
Yeah,
he's still with
yeah.
Q102. Okay.
And Naki's doing his thing, and he's doing his work contracting probably around the country. And then I'm just like trying to figure this stuff out so we could, I'm not DJing, but if we love the culture, we love the music, so
Yeah.
it's just a trip, the innovation that it took, on all of our ends, to. I mean, look at this. We're 31 episodes now in. you
Yeah.
know?
It's a pivot, man. It's a pivot, right? Yeah. That's cool, man. I mean, and it's like I said, I think you're going to see different stuff popping up, different things where people are doing exactly that. They're switching gears. They're finding different ways to make money, different ways to, switch things, switch platforms of things and ways that things are approached. And it's evolution.
Yeah, and who's learning,
Yeah. And that's just it, right? Is like, there's so many people that, and these are the ones that are going to struggle and probably not make it, is they're not willing to learn something. You're an old dog. You don't want to learn that new trick. I get it. It's hard, right? And that's, I don't know.
I mean, that just comes down to like basic, like life as the basic form. If you can't learn to adapt, you're not going to survive, right? I
Right.
mean, it just comes
Right.
down to.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, like I said, I know it's scary for a lot of people, man. It's a scary time because it's an uncertain time, right? And it's things are crazy. Things are crazy, and like I said, seeing things like within the fitness industry, the way things are evolving and changing, and it's like I said, I don't want to say I'm not concerned because there's always that little bit of concern, right? But I think that the people who are willing to adapt, willing to learn, willing to branch out, and really willing to put forth work to keep the people that you are trying to service happy, then I think those are the ones that are going to survive. Those are the ones that are going to be successful in the long run. So that's my take on the future of the fitness industry, kids.
I don't know. So like how people like the Amazon Alexas or like the Google Homes and stuff.
Yep.
You know, like people are like, I don't want those in my house. Like those mirror things. No offense if anyone has them, kind of creep me out because it's like a person standing in your house. So
Yeah.
that was the one thing I wanted to say.
What if the mirror just started talking to you? Like you're getting into bed. It's like, hello, Rachel.
Yeah, right.
Like, oh my
It's
God, no.
Okay, please don't put it like where you change or something.
Right.
Jesus. Like what?
Right.
Why is my trainer watching me?
Right.
Like ice cream.
Yeah. Again.
Really?
Where it just like pops up when you
Right.
have something bad. Like
It's got wheels.
You know what, dude? Maybe we should put one of those in your house, Big Mac. Maybe that's
Fine. You're gonna see a fat mirror and a drunk mirror.
it's like, the mirror's like, Mike, really the Big Mac meal again? Mike's like, yeah. You
got-
want some,
you gotta
bitch?
try
No,
it.
then shut up.
really 4 shots of tequila tonight. No.
Uh-huh. Oh
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, that mirror's gonna get fucked.
Yeah.
I'm hanging out with Mike again. It
Yeah.
turned into one of those
Right.
weird
Yeah.
carnival mirrors.
Funhouse mirror.
Yeah. So that's my those things just creep me out. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, that's like
No, I
a, like
see
a
that.
person
I see
like
that.
in like and like how do they work? I don't know anything. Like I've never looked them up, but like they'll like say your name. Like they'll be like, oh,
It's-
like move your arm like this. Like is it a real like what's happening in
It's
there?
got to be combination
It's
of
AI, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
and
Don't need that.
That's sketchy, right?
I mean, it's got to be heat, right? It's got to be able to see the heat of your body.
I'm not sure
Right.
what the sensors
Yeah.
are on it.
Just
I'm
like a
not-
picture, like there's face recognition, so
Yeah.
it's got to be able to recognize your digits. Combining that with the heat,
Okay.
then it could probably get a good idea of how your body.
You know what's funny is like we're gonna look it up and something completely different. We're gonna sound like complete assholes.
There's actually an agent
Yeah.
in Mexico.
You know who we need right now? I need Cody here.
Right.
I need Cody to
Yeah.
explain this to me.
Yeah.
Cody, how does this work? Like
Yeah.
the best day ever was when Chris was taking that chemistry class.
Oh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And Cody started breaking down like
Oh,
chemistry equations on
damn.
the board, like,
The whole board
and Chris
was
is
full.
standing there. He's like,
And like Cody, like just, I mean, it was like a beautiful mind. Like it
Yeah.
was just like all of a sudden it was like, what? That's just one equation. I'm like,
He flips the board over,
Yeah.
like it does that.
yeah. I totally remember.
100%.
We left it up for a few days because we just,
stared at it, all confused.
I was gonna figure it out.
Rachel, you know the pictures that you stare at long enough and it turns into
Oh, I
something.
love
That's what
those.
Rachel thought that
It's
was.
a sailboat.
Yeah. Yes. Is that mall
Damn
rats?
it. Yeah, I don't see it.
A schooner is a sailboat. Yeah. Good movie. Good movie. What else? Anything else you want to add today, Rach?
Yeah.
No. Mikey, what do you got?
I like what we covered.
A little bit lengthy of an episode today, but a good one, guys. Yeah, if you guys like the podcast, share it with a friend. Give us a review.
Give us a bad review, even if you don't like it. Just tell me. I need to know.
You guys can tell her that you don't like her. It's okay. It's all right.
Someone tell us how the mirror works.
Yeah, somebody email us
Yeah, please tell us.
or put it in your review. How the workout mirror works.
Yeah, subscribe to that YouTube channel. Follow us. Follow us where, Mike?
Is it just everywhere except Twitter?
Oh man,
It's true.
this is true because you made a what do you call it?
What did I? Oh,
Didn't
yeah, we're on TikTok now.
Yeah, Mike made a TikTok the other day.
Just gotta make them.
It just sounds weird when you say
I don't know
TikTok.
what this means,
know.
but he did it.
I still can't believe you were like Twitter.
I mean, we got the glamour shot background.
Yep.
Check.
Yeah.
And we got the sparkly sparks.
Yeah.
You know,
We got a really good
Check.
producer, guys.
Because we don't know what TikTok is.
No,
so.
no, not at all. Yeah, what else? Check out the website, castironworkouts.com. You guys can always drop us an email at castironworkouts@gmail.com. If you are a member already, check out the recipes that Mike's been working on. They're my recipes. Mike's kind of building out a format for them that looks pretty cool. Makes it pretty easy to use. There's probably got about 50 or 60 recipes that we're going to end up having on the website eventually. We just want to make it look pretty for you guys. So, yeah, all sorts of good stuff. Check out the book, Whatever It Takes. Find it on Amazon. That's all I got, guys. That's all I got. Again, hopefully you guys are doing well. You guys got any questions for us, hit us up, and enjoy the Super Bowl. weird. I got super warm, so I had to take